Oh, we're live. Happy Tuesday. What's going on, dude?
Hey, long time no see, partner.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I feel like we have been gone way too long from our channel. This feels very weird right now. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
We were kind of busy last weekend, so
Well, yeah, and we were hella in person too. That was it was like a convention, but it wasn't a convention. It was crazy. It was bonkers. Honestly, I think it was probably one of the coolest experiences the two of us have ever really gotten to share around comics, you know? Am I wrong? Was it that freaking crazy? I mean, we've done a lot of cool stuff with like people.
I
Don't
mean,
get me wrong,
I have to
but like
say, together, that was probably the most epic experience with comic books, hands down. Hands
yeah,
down.
absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed San Diego, I've enjoyed Chicago, I've enjoyed New York, but the things we got to do and the hangouts we had and the books we got to see and be a part of, absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers.
Can't wait
Oh
to get into
man.
it. We're going to talk about that, though. We're going to talk about that.
And a lot of the people that are here in the chat were there, on the lives. So, guys, LaCruce, Sixer Fixer, Dan, Collective, Genghis, Vin, Circumstances.
Appreciate you
What's
guys.
good, guys?
How are you?
Man, and speaking of circumstances, man, it's good to see you, brother. One of these days, you're going to have to be available to jump on and join us and not be like, my hair.
Oh, you know what? Hey, towards the end of the segment, we'll put a link in the
Yeah,
chat. Anybody that wants to join, come in, have a beer, shoot the shit. You're welcome to do this. Yeah.
absolutely. Collector Dome, dude.
How are you, sir?
Love you, bro. Big heart. Big heart. So where to begin, Theo? I'll let you kick this off. Where do you want to begin with the experience?
No intro today?
You're right.
We're just gonna raw dog it?
What am I doing? My bad. And
we're back. Feels out of sync right now. Okay,
out of practice. That's how it's been long, because we didn't do our regular episode the week that we were going to do the show, because we were just like, oh, we've got the show. We're too busy. They're going to see so much of us next weekend. Everybody's going to be sick of us. And because of that, we didn't do that show. And then we didn't do the show that we normally do on that weekend because it was that weekend. And now we're live on Tuesday, a week after. It's literally been what would have been like almost 3 weeks off for us, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When you take into account the week before,
you know what?
The week of,
we didn't lose any subs, so I guess that's a good
thing. We actually gained a few. Maybe.
You know what? Holy cow. We actually just gained a few this past 5 minutes. Yeah, guys, we're at 979.
Hey, look at that, guys. Thank you.
So you guys already know, when we get to 1,000, we're gonna do an appreciation, probably stream night and giveaway. We'll just make an event out of it.
Yeah. We'll just do it. We'll just do it during the live.
Yeah.
For all the love you guys have actually, for some reason, bestowed upon us. Yes, absolutely. So, Theo, like we were saying before, I'm going to, because I've had the opportunity to hand off opportunities like the start of this conversation very few times in my life, and I've had the opportunity to be out there a few times. So this was your first time going out to the Fantastic Collection, so I'm going to let you really kind of start off the conversation on this one for the sale and the experience as well, because I can reflect, but it's been a little different.
Yeah. So guys, if you don't know, recently we had Darren on our show. I think about a couple months ago, we talked about the Fantastic sale. He inherited a massive collection from his father. And when I say massive, I mean, what does it feel like? A few 100,000 books?
I think it was into the millions of
Million?
collectibles,
Okay,
everything,
so
well
we'll
over.
say about a million comic books. That includes comic books from what, 1940 all the way to 2000, something like that.
He has some from the 30s
Okay, so
and all the way
something
up to early
basically golden age
2000s.
all the way to modern age.
Yeah,
It's got baseball cards. I'm talking Mickey Mantles. He's got OG Gen 1 Star Wars, still sealed. It's
toys.
insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. I recently flew to Michigan last weekend. I met up with Phil. We I don't even know how this came to be, but we had the amazing opportunity to consign and sell the comic books. We did this on our IG Live, so One True Nerd King, Rach Theo, Instagram. It was the first of many sales that we'll be having in person. It was my first time doing an in-person live claim sale.
Yeah.
So honestly, I've never consigned with somebody. Number one, number two, I've never flown somewhere to sell somebody else's collection. So that was a big learning process for me. Um, we did a lot of stuff on the fly. As you guys saw, I think we did about 2 10-hour live streams. It was
Redonkulous.
the longest sales I've ever done in my life. Honestly, it was
Yes.
the longest sales and the most books I've ever sold. And
Yes.
anybody that was in the chat that was in that sale, I want to start off and say thank you. I appreciate that. It was a major success that would not have happened without people like you guys tuning in and supporting us.
Oh,
But yeah, like I
okay.
said, 10-hour sales, guys. It was insane. It was insane. I've never been more exhausted from selling comic books in the past 3 years that I've been doing. You guys have seen me do some long sales. You guys have seen me move 5, 10 short boxes in a night, but I've never done something like this. So
you were a wreck on the car ride back to the airport. You slept and you came out of coma just to eat, I think.
yeah, no, I've
During
never
that time.
slept early at night. You guys know me. I stay up late. Usually I stream at like 3, 4 a.m. As soon as we got done with these sales, like
Yeah.
11 o'clock, I'm like, I'm going to bed. I'm done. Well, I
Yeah.
put work in
It
me. I'm
was
done, guys.
it was tough. It was tough. And you know what? We were blessed to be also though hosted by Darren. So, you know, we had the opportunity to visit this collection and be a part of its story as well, which was really built around the fact that this is a tremendously huge collection. And Darren's you know, something that Darren talked about with us afterwards after our interview was that it's always been his intention to. A lot of people just think like, oh hey, he's just going to cash out. Darren's not cashing out. Darren's
This
just
is true.
do, which is smart with our collection. We take the things that we don't want and we turn that into the things that we do, right? So, you know, as books were selling, you know, there were things coming into the collection at the same time to continue to further and build it in the direction that he wants it to be in. Because not everybody loves Daredevil, not everybody loves Batman, not everybody, but Darren loves Superman, for example, right? So those are untouchable. Like, you know, nobody's touching the suit. But you know, Daredevil's cool, but he doesn't care as much. So let people that care about Daredevil buy those cool Daredevil books. Let the people that care about Batman buy the cool Batman books. The people that want those things in their collection, and that gives him the opportunity to keep on taking the Fantastic collection into the future and build it just like we all like to do with our own books. And so he gave us the opportunity to really bring that to Instagram, which was very new to us and him, and especially all of you that have followed us. It was awesome. We were getting, you know, certificates to go out with books. There was some big sales. Some people got some pretty damn good deals on a regular basis on the books that were coming through there. It was probably I think in the end, Theo, I think we sold just short of 700 books and slabs in that time frame out of that those short, honestly short shows, because you know, there was, we could still only take care of one person at a time as the orders were coming through, right? You know, so I mean, that's quite a few books. And you know, thank you to the thousands of people that came out and decided to make some of those purchases. You know, some were bigger, some were good space, were good fillers. What's up, Como? How's it going, man?
Ah, how are you, sir?
Check
How are you,
that
sir?
guy out. Yeah,
I'm
Space Kook's got
happy.
40 of them. Hell yeah,
Okay.
he does. But no, it was an amazing experience. It was a great time, amazing experience. Darren hosted us, so we got to hang out with Darren in the evening.
So I do want to
Um,
address that though. When are we thinking is part two?
So I was just speaking with Darren earlier. We'll probably get into that conversation tomorrow. We'll start talking about some good dates, and we'll get the next one scheduled. So, you
Sure.
know, more to come. More to come. We were just lamenting a few developments in the Star Trek universe in the last few episodes here at Picard, and we were talking about a few other things because Darren is a huge sci-fi geek. He is an equal opportunity nerd. He's finishing Titans right now. We were
Oh,
talking
nice.
about the Connor character. Yeah, yeah. So in that conversation, he's just like, you know, oh, next time you guys come up, I'm just like, oh, when is next time? I need to breach that conversation with him right now. But yeah, we're gonna probably bring that up tomorrow and see what's good for him, see what's good on the schedule, and see when their next big shipments are coming in, because they've got a lot of slabs inbound, and that was the reason too why we didn't want to schedule it too quickly, right? Because a lot of
Didn't
people
we,
thought like the
didn't we
next week.
submit, what was it, 5,000 books?
There's 5,000 coming back. 5,000 on the way to come back just this month. The number of submissions, and that's why, guys, when I say millions of collectibles, I mean plural, and in comics. And Darren had submitted nearly 5,000 slabs coming back this month, and probably another 5,000. We were looking at boxes in box. There was probably about 20 short boxes that we saw in those stacks there, Theo. At least
At
maybe
least
20,
20 short boxes
maybe 25 to
that
30.
were cleaned and pressed and getting ready to get sent out. Yeah.
Yeah, they were going down to CGC a week ago, right? So they're probably just now arriving. So goodness knows when those are coming back afterwards. But we know the ones, the real, a lot of the really big ones that were already deemed like these are in great condition. These were the first rounds of presses. Those books are the ones that are coming back. So there's going to be 5,000. Um, I would venture to say 95% big boy books coming in on this slab extravaganza, whatever the hell we were going to call this event of an unboxing. And honestly, I'm gonna see if I can find out when they are coming in, just so I can come out and film some of the unboxing of it for us, so I can get a preview for what it is we're going
Make
to
sure you
have
use
in
a
that
big knife.
sale.
Okay. Make sure you use a big knife.
Yeah, yeah, I will make sure. I will make sure there is a big knife involved in opening those boxes, man, because we're going to need to, and yes, Space Kook, we need to take some good Michigan food for Theo next time he
Oh, we,
comes
we
out. I
went
think
out
he's
to
going to
some
stay a
good
little
places
extra.
though. What
Oh,
was it?
yeah, 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 yeah,
What was
yeah. But
that one city we went out to?
that was Birmingham. We were in Birmingham,
Birmingham. That was a nice place.
right outside Detroit. Yeah, it was a
We
nice
actually
district.
picked that. That was a
We had
good
a
place.
great meal.
They had some good mojitos too.
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, Darren took us out for a hell of a dinner that evening. The first night he didn't really have the chance because we just kept going, and it was the second night where you saw all of a sudden Theo
It,
look
it
up and be
literally
like,
made me
"All
stop.
right, we're done."
I was like, no, we're not done. We're not done.
Theo was just like, "Okay, this is my last box," and you kept seeing him look up, and then finally I was just making eye contact with him, like, he's ready to go. Like, okay, we gotta go. So
But Supreme, yeah, no, I did. I did walk away with a couple of short boxes. Needless to say.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Guess who's got to send those back to him? Oh man. Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Or maybe it depends if Darren's like, yeah, 2 weeks from now, Theo can just take him home for himself when he comes back. Tell you what. But no, it was a great time. I had a blast. Theo,
Oh,
luckily
Supreme,
you
send
you
me a
had
DM
some.
on Instagram. Let's talk about that.
Oh
Ah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Um, Huh. Yeah, I can say that it was a blessing that Theo ran into a car accident. Not in it himself, but he got stuck behind it in traffic and missed his first flight, and he ended up arriving earlier than expected. So he got to crash with me at my house for the first night, and then we were able to leave first thing in the morning when we woke up and kind of take a roll out there, because otherwise it would have been like get off the plane and go. We were able to kind of center ourselves a little bit the night before.
It is
And
to be noted, guys, if you fly Delta, they have a 24-hour flat tire policy. So basically, it means if you're delayed and you let them know within 24 hours, it's no charge, and they'll get you to your destination within 24 hours of you missing the flight. So
mm,
not too shabby.
yeah,
I
beats the
didn't
heck
know
out of
that.
those people that lost your plane, that
Yeah, I
lost your
didn't know that.
suitcase.
But that's pretty
So
cool. Pretty cool.
yeah, yeah,
And
I
yes,
used
Collector Dome. A lot of people said that the last minute short box like steals and deals was fire. We're gonna do more of that next
we're
time.
gonna do more of that.
And I think next time, instead of a 2-day sale, we're gonna do a 3-day sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I think we will. I think what we'll have is we'll have Theo able to really kind of crawl through the short boxes, and we'll have a view of the wall still of what's up there in case people are seeing that stuff in the background and need details on it, and then people that can crawl through the boxes. That way we can kind of satisfy all those viewers that are looking for all the parts and pieces, because the box crawls, I think we'll definitely try and maybe integrate those maybe like every few hours. Okay, guys, we're gonna do a box crawl, new box coming up, and we'll just throw a different one in there each time as we get done. Because I mean, there was, gosh, dude, I mean, what people forget though too is like we had sure 10 short boxes that we were ready with, but there was 20 short boxes behind us off on the side that we had access to, that we were trying to pick to fill in between with books that you guys were requesting: more X-Men, more Daredevil, more Flash, more Fantastic Four. And these boxes, while some of them were absolutely like run fillers, they were in ridiculous condition, dude. They were like, the coloring on there was stupid bright and vibrant on so many of these books, because even though they weren't the classic, what's up K-pop, they weren't the classic, everybody's holy grail of a comic, they were still in fantastic condition. All of these books were, and they were old as dirt. I was
I mean,
I was surprised.
the era of each one, they kind of match the grade, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd expect if it's golden age, it's not going to be completely near mint. It's going to be a little bit roughed up. If it was bronze, it's going to be pretty nice. And if it was modern, it was basically flawless.
Yeah. But I mean, the color though on these books, yes, if they were older, but I mean, the way they hadn't seen the sunlight in obviously
Oh yeah. The color,
many
yeah,
decades.
very vibrant on the colors.
Yeah.
I
They're
mean,
they're definitely like, if you were after that cover or that book or whatever it is, they will still stand out in your collection just because of the coloring on the pages alone. I was flabbergasted.
it's a
I
good
won't lie.
point too. Yeah, the boxes, like they didn't have like water stains on the boxes. They weren't like yellow tinted. They were freaking bleach white.
Yeah. 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 And I think it was my conversation with Comic Journey the other day too. He was just like, so what was it like walking into the room of just like, that overpowering old comic smell? And I like, you have to understand, like, Darren has these rooms like freaking high level maintained, like air scrubbing, well, climate controlled, like the air was being constantly circulated in there. Yes, when you open up the short box, yes, you would get the smell of the old comics like you would normally have. But you go into places like that normally have things in trailers full of books, like it's kind of like dead air. It's that dead air, that old smell. There wasn't any of that in there at all. It smelled clean, it smelled fresh, and those books are being well stored and taken care of. I was impressed. I was impressed.
It kind of gave me. I'm not gonna lie, my OCD kind of kicked in a little bit. because
Mhm.
as they brought short boxes out for us to take a look at,
Oh yeah,
like
I know what you're gonna say.
I'd be flipping,
Yeah,
and nothing was in alphabetical order.
no,
And on top of that, you'd literally be in like golden age, modern, bronze, golden age, and you're like, what's going on with these boxes? You're like,
yes,
just this. Ugh. You take the next
yeah,
box, and you're like, this is all unorganized.
yes,
Ah!
yes, dude. You could see like
I was like,
Fantastic
what
Four
is happening?
13, like Fantastic Four 13, and then all of a sudden Wildcats. It was just like it was just that stark of a
It wasn't even all
jump.
Marvel in one or all DC or
No,
it's just
no,
complete just discombobulation going on, you know?
no. Like the most random old war comics to all of a sudden something from Image Comics, like Shadowhawk, or there was no rhyme, no
No.
reason, just books, guys. And that was probably the hardest part because there was a lot of requests too, right? Everybody was just like, get me more of this, get me more of that. And everybody was just kind of like, this is the way the collection came in. The there wasn't this, it went through like, looking for things that were obviously high value right off the bat. But holy crap, dude. It took when people gave us requests, that meant we were going through boxes just crossing our fingers each time. Or like, oh, I remember seeing one like 13 boxes ago. I think it's remotely in this corner of the building. Go look over there. It
Oh,
was
you know
it
how many
was
times I
insane.
would go over into that corner of like boxes we were allowed to get books from, and I'm like, I think I remember seeing Daredevil somewhere. Oh, yep, here's a
Yeah.
nice stack, you know?
Yeah. It was exactly like that, guys. It was like that the entire
A lot of
time. And it was
photographic
it was
memory.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It kind of made it almost more of an adventure because every single time we were going through something, if we were taking requests, you'd see us switching all the time. But people had to see the short boxes with us, right? As you were going through them, that was what the entire collection was like. People would be like, "Oh, that." Or that or that, and all of a sudden it was just it was, hey, go get me some Fantastic Fours or some early Batman or Silver Age Batman, whatever it would be. And we'd be like, cross your fingers, guys. Here's a new short box. Let's take a look. And we're just digging through it. It was exactly like that the entire time. The
I
entire
think that's
time.
why the short box, remember when I started doing the short box digging,
Yeah. I think
that's
that
why
was
it
the
became
best.
so successful because we had X amount of people in the live sale, and it's like you just never know what somebody collects or what book they're missing from their run or whatever it was. So I think, yeah, we're gonna do a lot more of that, guy. We're just gonna do a lot more of that.
Oh yeah. It stands to absolute reason because there's only so many books we could even put up on that wall anyways. And at the same time, too, dude, we had probably close to 30 to 40 books on the wall at any given time. I mean, that was
Oh, we
huge
were
as it is. And the
always rotating
books
books.
and the books in the bins were just, I mean, you could still only have so much people wanted. But what was really cool too, like those horror magazines, those different horror mags that they had in there, those were super inexpensive and hella cool. I mean, we saw some covers in there that were like, what the hell is this? It was like the Eries and the creepy, was it
Frank
creepy was
Frazetta,
one
yeah,
of them?
the creepies, yeah, the
Oh my man.
horror stories. I mean, I just remember the covers. I don't remember half the titles that we saw.
No, there was some cool like
I thought I've
robot
seen a
cover
lot of books.
skulls.
I've been doing
Yeah.
this for a while, so I thought I've seen a lot of books. This was like, oh, I don't know what this is. I've never seen this. Oh my goodness. So it was
Dude,
actually a
Mr.
really good learning
Mr.
experience.
Peanut.
Yeah.
Mr. Peanut, right? Mr. Peanut comics. And we had like the big boy comic. And there was so many strange collectibles, like the entire set of the Dallas newspaper Marvel comics that they did with like Spider-Man crossing over with different characters.
Oh, right.
Um
Yeah.
yeah, there was just lots of things that we had not collectively seen. And
I never
big
find
hits.
that stuff in a collection. Like
No.
very rare do I find horror magazines. I think maybe one time I found some, but not like that, like a full run,
Mm-mm.
you know?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. And they were most of them were in for their age, like you said, the kind of condition you would expect for people that took good care of them as well, right?
Right, right,
So,
right.
you know, especially for magazines, like some of these didn't look like they'd even been opened. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not saying like they were mint on the outside, but they didn't look like they had been like really paged through. These were probably picked up in the stacks of, things from the news bin that just didn't sell. It
No, and I
probably been moved
remember
around and touched by
I
people,
remember
but
somebody was claiming some magazines, and they had a question on whether or not it was like a first print. It was like a horror magazine, and I remember taking that out of the bag and board and like opening it to check the splash page. It felt like a stiff piece of cardboard. Like nobody had opened this book ever.
no, I think you were the first
I was
person to
afraid
crack
to
his
like
pages.
actually bend. You know, like sometimes you bend those thick books and they make like that line on the
Yeah.
spine. I'm like, all right, let me not.
Yeah, you're just kind of like
First
cracking
print.
it like,
I'm like, let me
I
I'll put this
think.
back in the bag. Like, yeah, it's a first print. Okay, guys. Yep.
Yeah,
It's a first print.
it was bonkers, but I have to say, without a doubt, it was definitely one of the cool things. I remember, I think right here, I grabbed one early before it. This was kind of like one of the things I grabbed this one specifically because it had a Star Wars excerpt in it. But this Star Quest comics or whatever it is, these are just those kinds of Warren books that we were getting, and this is one of the ones I snagged for my own PC, just because I thought it was freaking dope, and it had Star Wars in it, so I kind of had to. But yeah, it was an amazing time, dude. Amazing time. Yeah, this thing's. I'm definitely one of the first people to open that, but yeah, just looking at the insides of the books. I mean,
Oh, you got
super
that from Darren?
pristine. Yeah, I got this. I got this from the collection. Yeah,
Oh,
this was one
that's
of the.
super cool.
Yeah, this was one of the early ones. But I mean, this was the condition of most of the magazines, guys. So I mean, it was. I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing's perfect, but they're in freaking still really good condition for what it was. $10. $10 were some of these, $20 at the top. I think a couple of them sold for 30, which were the really rarer high-end ones. But still, at the end of the day, I think we sold a few Vampirellas. There was a lot of there was a lot of really cool stuff. Theo could really talk to you about highlights. I'm kind of more of a random collector. I don't pick up a lot of the what everybody else would consider to be keys, but I know my stack that I had picked up earlier before the show when Theo had gotten there. I really thought this was cool. I really thought this Marvel Age Stan Lee cover was dope. I never
Oh,
knew
that
that
is
even
dope.
existed.
Yep.
I never knew that existed until I was there, so I grabbed that. And I think the other really big highlight for me was picking up this first Star Trek: The Next Generation in near mint as fuck. And this is the first Jean-Luc Picard, the
Is that the one
first
I found for
Riker.
you?
What was that?
Is that the one I found for you? When I was
No,
like,
no, no. This is the one I picked up on my own. Remember, I said I
oh,
had
okay.
one.
Okay.
This is the one. This is the one I grabbed earlier. The other ones I had that way I could actually say I've got multiples, so I can get one slabbed because I want to get one slabbed. But you know how I am; I always have to have my raws. So this one will get slabbed, and the other ones I'm going to keep because the other one you got too. They were a different variant of this cover. It was a different
Is it a
color
newsstand?
scheme on it. Yeah. So these were these. I wanted to make sure I had the opportunity to, yeah, get a couple different copies. So, because
Yeah.
I'm a Trekkie too. I'm a Trekkie and a Star Wars guy. But yeah, then I think that's one. This is just the gambit of what
No,
it was like,
classic. Yeah.
of what was in there. Star Wars. You'd seen this earlier. Um, but yeah, just more books, more covers, more Gen 13. I got a lot of Gen 13 because they know I'm trying to complete my run. So then the rest is a stack of Gen 13 books. So that was like I said, a lot of random stuff. But I
And I got about
was
two short
super excited.
boxes, collector. I'll
Yeah,
probably post and do like a preview of like what I picked
yeah.
up when it comes. But yeah,
It was sick. It was sick. I remember you looking at a few of them like, oh my God.
some of them I'm keeping. You know, yeah.
Am I familiar with Argo and the CIA operation behind it? I'm only thing I can think of with Argo wise is that Ben Affleck movie.
Yeah, see, I was like, I didn't know that was a comic book.
but I'm not. I'm no. So maybe I'm not familiar with it the proper way. Supreme. Let me know. Let me know what I'm missing with that, because when I think of Argo, I'm thinking of the Argo movie with Ben Affleck, and I could be screwing that up totally. But oh, okay, bingo. All right, good. So I'm not wrong. Okay. I'm pretty sure. But yeah. No, it was yeah. I'm a big sci-fi dork. So good. I was thinking of the same thing. I thought you were gonna be like a different kind of a different kind of story, just using it as an abbreviation, not necessarily as the name. So cool. We're on the same
Yeah, and I
page.
think Collector. I think somebody picked up the entire run of Rampaging Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, person made an offer and just took the whole stack.
Was it oh man, why can't I remember his name all of a sudden? I'll have it in a minute. I forgot because I've got the entire spreadsheet here.
No, it's okay. Somebody picked up a whole stack.
As the guy that did the billing for everybody, I can tell you who it was as soon as I see the name. Oh gosh, what was it? City Spartan Comics.
So Supreme
I'm
said
pretty sure.
a fake CIA,
I'm pretty sure it was City
a fake
Spartan.
sci-fi movie setup to get those 6 embassy workers out. An amazing story. Nice.
Yep. Nope, it was, and that was a great movie too. I really enjoyed the movie as well. Ben Affleck did a good job with bringing that to life. And I believe he directed it, as well as starred in it. So, yeah, Doth was impressed to say the least. But also in the news, not only do we have another sale up and coming, there's been a few different announcements. There's been some movies. I gotta say, I feel like Marvel made a very solid representation of probably their best foot forward since Endgame, in my opinion, with Across the Spider-Verse. I would say it
Yeah,
was a fantastic movie. What did you just saw it today, Theo? So
I
you're a lot
just saw
fresher.
it
I
today
saw it
with,
earlier.
yeah, I just saw it today with my 3 kids. I'm still kind of like absorbing it.
Mhm.
I can say that it's better than the first. I I do like it. I think I give it like a 9 out of 10.
Oh yeah. No,
It's
it was definitely
definitely,
one of the highest Marvel movies I've seen in
yeah, it's
quite some
definitely up
time.
there. I love all of the Spider-Man that were in there. I thought that was just sensory overload, and I loved it. It's just, I remember looking over at my kids while they're watching. They're just like,
Like,
just
who's
just
that?
glued,
Who's
mouth
that?
open.
Who's that?
My one daughter's on my one side. She's like, "There's a dinosaur with Spider-Man's mask on." I'm like, "Yep, there is. Yep, there
Yep.
is. Yep."
I love Spider Cat. I thought the Spider Cat was awesome actually. There was a
Yeah.
lot of characters in that I didn't know about. Which
Oh
was
yeah.
a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
fun too. Which was a lot of fun as well. But I did
Oh,
love the
I know I'm
you
skipping
mean?
like right to the end, but we talked about this on the phone earlier. I am a little upset when they did the to be continued.
I'm not. To me, that's classic part one to me kind of stuff. I mean, with Endgame, they had other movies coming out in the middle. There's nothing else that's happening with this,
Yeah.
right? To me,
I'm glad there's a part 2 coming.
I just I guess the thing is I didn't pay as much attention to the beginning of the promos for this movie, because I remember them saying we're making an Across the Spider-Verse and there will be a part 1 and part 2. So for me, in my mind, I always remembered that it's part 1 and part 2. So I knew going in to see the movie, this is part 1. And like every part 1 I remember left on the cliffhanger kind of like that Lord of the Rings feeling of like, next, like,
Right.
like, oh my God, I gotta wait another year, because that was the craziness that was like going to see the Lord of the Rings movie. That's what I loved about those movies in the theaters. But you walked out and you were like, oh, I gotta wait a year for this, and that kind of continuation. It felt like It felt like that to me. To me, this was everything I expected, and I was glad there was not a post-credit scene because I felt like now we're at the main event. The main event is coming. This is what's going to happen. And I heard what was supposedly in the post-credit scene, but you know, we'll see. I can see why they didn't do it. I can see totally why they didn't do it. But
I'm a little shocked there's no post credit scene, but I guess just kind of ending it back to what Legion's saying. Yeah, that's basically textbook cliffhanger ending. Like
mhm.
you're guaranteeing that people will go see part 2. That's a done
Yeah,
deal. That's a done
yeah,
deal right there. Yeah.
yep. It was like watching
Did
Frodo
they announce
go
that
into
though?
the caves.
Am I glitching? Am I glitching?
No,
Gosh, my camera like's tweaking on me, dude.
no, I've seen you good. You look good to
Okay.
me. I
Did they
mean, we're
announce a
just making hand look.
Miles live action movie?
Oh yeah, they announced that last week. The president of Sony announced that the live action Miles Morales movie is in the writing phase as much as in the creation process as one could be with a writer's strike going on. But yes, that is official. That is happening. That was announced. So that'll come out more when we start to see who's getting cast in those roles and did they finally finish the script. I mean, Sony's probably had this in process for the last, let's be honest, at least the last 3 years. They've had something going on this, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
But I mean, yeah, overall, what's up, Brandon? But yeah, overall, I mean, I loved it. I loved the story. I loved the writing. I loved all the introduction of the other characters. Um, I like how
A lot
Miles,
of
you know, no, I'm not just gonna stand here and let my dad die if I can save him. Like, f that. Like,
yeah,
you know,
and I liked a lot of people were upset, and obviously I'm not going to be, but a lot of people were upset that it was so much about Gwen in this first one. But I mean, the title is Across the Spider-Verse as well, and she is the only spider in her universe. I always took that concept as it's not doesn't say Miles Morales and the Spider-Verse. It's Spider-Man across the Spider-Verse. So it's all of those characters. So for me, seeing Gwen in that role, it did flesh her out a lot better. It showed a lot more of her struggle of why she was, and
and
essentially is.
I remember we
sh-
talking about that, and I heard people talking about that before I went to go see the movie. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go see what they're talking. I didn't think it was too much on it, to be honest.
no,
It
no.
was definitely a Miles movie.
Yeah, I still think it was Miles' movie, and I
It
think
was
that they
definitely
did
a
give
Miles
Gwen a
movie.
good story for a change. Like they actually fleshed her out to see her problems with it. Because at the same time, too, in every single other universe, Gwen is dead,
Right.
right? So if that's the case, and everybody has to have this big tragedy to make them the Spider-Man person, she knows right off the bat that she is one of the wrong things in that universe, because in every other universe she's supposed to be dead. She is not a canon event for a universe. So I think her realization that by Miguel's standards she should not exist either, just like Miles. Her captain hasn't she lost Peter, granted, but she's supposed to lose a captain too. That's her dad as well. You've got what happened with Spider-Man Mumbai, the Spider-Man India. I can't remember his exact name.
I liked him.
I
I liked
loved him. I loved him. I
Why
loved
do you
all of
say,
them.
he's like, why you say chai tea? How about I
Yeah.
go say coffee, motherfucker?
Yeah, it was good. Everybody had good characters, and I loved it. I loved it. Hey, Mac for Runner, what's up? Yeah,
Oh man,
what?
how are you, sir?
Yeah, dude, it was a great it was a great movie. It was great, and it was really cool. I did spoilers, back when the team's assembling. I love Spider-Punk really being the person that made it all happen, and he knew
Dude,
from the
Spider-Punk
beginning.
was cool, dude. I liked him. So
Yeah,
like Miles was getting captured and was just like, "Stop calling me a kid." He's like, "That's a rebel. I like it."
but
Everybody was chasing him. He's like, "I quit."
everybody wasn't paying attention though, because he was constantly stealing things. Like if you I watched somebody who actually got some footage from it, and you show from the first time he walks back into the building, he's walking up to Miguel, he's pinching things the entire time.
Oh yeah.
And in my mind, it's because he knows he needs to make another band because he knows something's going to happen to Gwen and to Miles, and he does not want that to happen. So he knows a revolt is coming, and he's preparing for it because when he said, "I'm out," he dropped his when he left. So the Miguel issued wristband that he was given, he dropped, and he went with obviously other ones that he made for himself by stealing this stuff from Miguel all this time to make his own wristbands. He had his own so that way he could go to Gwen's universe and leave one for her when she got left behind. Where he knew she was going to go look, which was in Miles' universe. He knew she was going there, and that's where all these things. To me, not in Miles' universe, in Gwen's. To me, that was Spider-Punk was the biggest part, as far as the linchpin of the movie really happening the way in which it did. If it weren't for his character, which was amazing, I was really blown away by that because I was seeing little details like, why is he always taking stuff? And then all of a sudden it was just like, oh my God, if he hadn't taken all that stuff, this entire situation of rescuing Miles would never happen. Never happen.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good, but now that I'm like thinking back on that, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. He knew, like you said, like when he said, like, I like this kid, he's a rebel, right? I like this kid. That's because he knew this was not going to fit Miguel's plan. Miguel already had trouble with Gwen because she wasn't supposed to be there. She got left by. She was a pity case. He said right off the bat, she's not one of us. She's not supposed. She is a non. What is a variant kind of thing, like it not supposed to happen. This was not canon. She's not supposed to exist. He wouldn't take her. She's not supposed to be one of them. So he brought one in already. Miles was the first in that manner, and the biggest in the fact that it came from a spider with a completely no spider in their universe now because of it. I feel like he had the coolest foreshadowing of, oh yeah, he's working it. He's the one that's really making this happen.
Yeah, that spider therapist bit was pretty good too.
Let me guess, he died. It was just.
I still think, and it's hard to say, like, to compare them all. But my favorite one is still the mentor, Peter Parker, with the pink robe and the
with Mayday,
the baby Bjorn, and all that stuff. I'm like, you know what? If I was any of these guys, because a lot of you guys don't know, but I wasn't into comics when my kids were little, but that was me. I had a baby Bjorn on. I'd go hiking. I'd have a kid on my backpack, and I'm like, you know what? I like this dad, Peter Parker, the best, I think. And he was like the most like level-headed. He was always cracking a joke. He even went to like Miguel. He's like, you know what? You're not funny enough, man. We're supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's because of him. Remember, he was the only Spider-Man that kind of like deviated from the chase and is the one that like got Miles out of that situation.
Yes.
He was like the fork in the road. I don't know.
He was the original mentor.
Yeah,
he was just like he was the guy that stuck by the decisions that Miles was making. I like Peter B. Parker's character quite a bit.
Yeah, I liked him. I like the fact that he's like, you know what? He's got his daughter around there. He's like web slinging her back. He's like, oh no, that's dangerous. Come here.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. No, I loved Mayday. I loved her, and I loved the way that they also treated. I love the way that they also treated hard things that happened to us. Right. I love the fact that you're not experiencing heartbreak. You're experiencing a canon event, right? This is a canon event in your life. This isn't this is terrible. This is awful. But I love the way that they're showing that this is what can make a hero. This is what can make you special. I think that was also a wonderful perspective too, in calling them those kinds of things like that. This is a canon event. This is supposed to happen. This is the pain you're supposed to feel to be rising above and becoming that character. I thought that was cool.
I love the live action like Easter eggs that they put in there with Toby and Andrew.
Oh yeah.
God, I love that, man. That was so cool.
Dude, the coolest though, to me, the coolest was Donald Glover in so
That
much
was
of it
cool. That was cool.
as
He was like,
because
"Yeah, he's like, why are you staring, man?"
yeah, but I mean that was from our canon universe. He was Prowler and he was talking about his I've got this nephew.
Yeah.
Remember there in Homecoming? I've
Yep.
got this nephew a few you know, in another borough over. I don't want this stuff around my nephew. I don't want these things around him. He's talking about Miles, dude. He's talking about Miles
Yep.
in the current MCU universe.
Or what is it?
He's Prowler.
We think it's Earth 616, but really it's Earth 9211555. I don't even know.
Yeah, he
What
said
was it?
199999 or something like that. Yeah, it was funny. It is the universe that what's her name debated Kevin Feige on, the girl that plays Ms. Marvel. You remember seeing that? I sent you that thing where she's just
Yep.
like, I don't
Yep.
think it's the universe that Feige says it is. I think it's universe 19 whatever the hell it
Yeah.
is. That is
It
the
is.
exact universe that they listed in that movie, and I thought
And
that was cool as
yes,
fuck
there
because
was
she
a
is
Venom
super
link
nerd.
when Spot was
Mrs. Chen.
like appearing through the different places. He appeared
Yep.
in the convenience store that Venom always goes to, and then when you see him like taking some gum and like going back to his place, that like Venom mints on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I loved the I loved the Lego Daily Bugle. The one I
We
have
probably should
here
have
in my
made a
room.
banner saying "Spoiler alert, Spider." Sorry, brother. Sorry. Always.
Yeah, sorry, dude. I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
guys.
I should have
Sorry,
said
guys.
that. We should have put it in the banner. But I
We should
loved
probably
seeing
put it in our
the
description when we
Spider-Man.
post this.
Yeah, I'll put that in there right now. Banner spoilers happening now. Sorry guys. But yeah, it was
Hey,
a
at
great
least we didn't do it the next day, though, right? Hey, we waited a little bit of time.
Yeah, I love it. I got actually yelled at in one chat I was in for a show where it was 3 weeks later. There's like, oh, spoilers, spoilers. Not everybody's seen the movie. Like, dude, it's been 3 weeks. If you haven't seen the movie, this is on you. I'm allowed to talk.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
I'm
Come on.
allowed. I'm allowed. 3 weeks is 100%. Nobody can make me feel bad at all.
And see,
Um,
Lantern, I'm in the same mindset. Like, I watched, I talked to Webb, I talked to Phil, I talked to people that have seen it. I
mhm.
asked for their opinion. I asked what happened. Is there a post-credit scene? I've watched New Rock Stars, everything, always, emergency awesomeness. I watched all the Easter eggs, and I was telling a buddy of mine yesterday on the phone. I actually like that because then when I go see the movie, like I know like what to really pay attention to so I don't miss it, or like
Mhm.
I like to hear other people's perspective. That way, when I go and see it for myself, I'm like, okay, I disagree with what they said, or I agree with what they said. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it doesn't ruin a movie for me, honestly.
No, I agree.
I just
I
can't.
agree.
I can't watch like images from the movie, right? Like I'll listen to it, I'll listen to what people have to say, but I can't watch the actual videos where they show scenes of it. That I won't do. I want to see the
No.
scenes for myself. Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And Brandon, awesome. All three of us have seen this with our daughters now, or
Yep.
daughters and sons for some. But definitely a dad-daughter movie. It's a fantastic one for sure. But yeah, I was very, very, very impressed getting to see it. First action movie is getting love with Logan. You're a dick meme. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I've got one I'm working on for that Supreme Love. I actually have a meme of that. I'm looking to put out tomorrow. I've been kind of working on my meme game lately, so we'll see how it goes. But no, 50 minutes in, Theo. Do you think we should drop a link? I think we should drop a link.
Yeah, drop a link. I think we got about what 10 more minutes.
Yeah, we'd like to keep it. We like to try and keep these to an hour.
Well,
And
and guys, it's late for Phil on the East Coast. I got to prep for a sale tomorrow. But yeah, anybody wants to come in, shoot the poo for about 10 minutes. Come on down. If you haven't liked this video, like the video. We're at 980 on the sub. We're almost at 1,000. Phil, we're almost at 1,000.
we're getting close, people.
Hey, we're at 982. I just refreshed.
Hey, there we go, dude. We've grown.
Hiya.
We were at 66 before we started this episode. So yeah, doing good, dude.
Wow,
Or
really?
76. No, yeah. Was it 66 or we were at something 6? I think it was 66.
No way.
No. It was 76.
76.
It was 76. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'd like to take credit for that, but come on.
No. I put out some decent reels. No. Hey, there's one of our good reoccurring guests and friends. Ruben, I'll let you get your camera centered there, brother, before we pop you in here. But all right, there you go. Feeling good? Give me a thumbs up if you feel like you're ready, and we'll pop you on, buddy. All right, thumbs up. How you doing? Oh, a couple of Wolverines here. I feel
That's
left
sick shirt,
out.
man.
I feel left out.
I just realized you are wearing a Wolverine shirt.
I'm gonna leave now. I'm obviously the odd man out. See you.
This guy.
There you go. How are you doing, man?
I'm blessed. Just got back from my niece's birthday party.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you see the Spider-Man movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Highly recommend it.
I get that a lot. My brother and his whole family saw it. They're like, "You haven't seen it? Oh, you have to go watch it." I was like, "No," but I saw Transformers, so you know.
Oh, you saw the new Transformers?
Yeah.
That's out?
One of the comic book. It was, dude. It was sick.
I've heard that it's the best Transformers movie. I've heard from every single person it is the best Transformers movie. Everybody I've known that's gotten to see it early so far has said full stop best Transformers movie since the first one. And
it's
then
great.
It's even a little better.
Oh man.
I've heard that from everybody.
Yeah. One of the comic book shops I go to, he always does like early screening. He always gets like with a media pass and everything. So I
need to make friends like that.
Yeah, dude. He's an awesome guy.
And welcome, Tech. We didn't get to welcome you in yet, brother, but welcome on, homie. How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. How you guys?
Good. I gotta grab my cat here real quick. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that.
You're good.
No worries.
We're just chilling, talking about the Fantastic Sale, talking about Across the Spider-Verse,
Cool shirt.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, a little Spidey action. Okay, yeah. I dig it.
Yeah, I got the Amazing Spider-Man shirt on.
Dude, you always got cool shirts on, man. Come on, man.
Cool.
I'm just trying to keep up with you.
So, Brandon, you saw the Spider-Verse movie, right?
Absolute.
What'd you think of it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really
1 out of
good,
10. What do you give it?
Like, out of 10?
Out of 10.
I'd give it an 8.
8? Okay.
Yeah, because I think the reason I say 8 is because I think the next one might be a 9.
So, do you think this one was better than the first one?
That is such a tough thing to say because of how different that first movie really was.
Yeah.
But I would say in terms of the story, in terms of how much character development was there, and in terms of just the overall vibe of it, I think the second one was better.
I think the second one had a much deeper storyline. The first one was an origin movie, dude. It was an origin movie.
Yes.
It's like every origin movie. They're going to be, some are better than others, but it was great. And what made it, I think what made Into the Spider-Verse so special was the fact it wasn't about fucking Peter Parker. Excuse my language, but we've all heard Peter Parker's story before, right? What made it special
it's been a few times.
What made it special? We've everybody. The only person that people know more about constantly dying over and over again for an origin story is maybe Batman, but that's it. Everybody knows Spider-Man.
Parents.
Or Superman's parents.
Superman's parents. I mean, but what is that? That he gets a hologram the entire time. He's still living on through these freaking crystals all the time. Whenever he wants to go see a picture of his dad or hear a story, I think to me the most iconic origin
out of the three of them, Spider-Man has it the worst because at least Batman got rich, and at least, like you said, Superman's got those crystals. Okay.
And his adopted parents that loved him just as much. You know, Peter lost him twice. He lost both of his parents, then he lost his uncle, and he was constantly just trying to hold on to his aunt by a string. So yeah, to me, what made Into the Spider-Verse special was that fucking Peter Parker was gone and dead, and that was a blessing to me because it made it fresh, and that's what made the first one great. But this one was, I mean, as a parent, and we all are, you know, like the having to give your kid to the world, you know, that moment of realizing that your kids are growing beyond your constant lawn mowing and helicoptering as a parent. You know, they're eventually going to step away from you. And anybody that's got a kid had to have looked over at their child at one point in time where the mom and the dad are talking to each other and trying to relate to Miles and trying to understand what's going on, and said to themselves, fuck. You know, I know I did. I know I looked over at my daughter at least twice when his mom and his dad are talking, and I said to myself, you know, right there, just like that.
I definitely did, but I didn't feel too bad for Miles' parents. I was like, you know what? That's a pretty good deal. Okay, you're in New York, he's going to Jersey, and on top of that, dude's going to Princeton. I'm like, you know what? If you guys are upset by that,
something's wrong.
You got issues here.
It was just the letting go of the only child to me, so I could relate to that aspect of it.
Yeah, it's a state over. But going to Princeton, okay, I'd be more happy than sad, brother.
I felt like there was more complex stories happening in this movie than what happened in the first one. So I got to agree with Tech in, I think, the writing and the story that was taking place, it was better. In the iconicness of the way it stands out, and the fact that this was the first time that kind of animation style was used. All these other side characters are starting to be introduced. In the epicness that was Into the Spider-Verse, that will still hold the number 1 slot for me.
Yeah.
But damn, this is a very close number 2. And if I look at it from a storyline, like a story that I cared about, I love Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen means a lot to me in my house. So like seeing her character finally get fleshed out on a screen as well, in a respectful way and in a complex way, I like that. So for different reasons, these are both different number 1s for me, right? In my mind, which makes them a near tie. But if I had to think of the movie that stands out the most in my mind every single time, it's Into the Spider-Verse. Across the Spider-Verse is epic, but that's number 1. And still, to me, in like Spider-Man movies, boy, the animation side is starting to really dominate. We're getting, you know, in iconic Spider-Man movies, a lot of new spiders, a lot of new spiders drawing into the crowd.
I think I instantly put this one in like the top 3.
Yeah.
As far as Spider-Man movies,
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I can give it a notch over like Spider-Man 2 with Tobey and Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, I think No Way Home's almost like sets the bar.
I mean, like for me, it's like Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
and No Way Home, and then I probably number 3 is this one.
That's high.
And I think that's a pretty big compliment for an animation.
Yeah, very much so.
You know, it's an animation movie. I mean, I've never put an animation movie above that many live actions ever.
Oscar Isaac did a killer job as 2099.
I will say though, I do give a notch to the first Miles movie music-wise. I wasn't too impressed with the music on this one. Just saying.
No, the music wasn't as good. No, I'll say that too. The music was not as good. There was nothing cooler than hearing Biggie play when he was going to his uncle's house.
Yeah, the music, man. I was like, I was a little disappointed with it. You know, I was like,
actually, I liked the first part because that was Eric B and Rakim. So that's good stuff.
Yes, 100% respect. Yep. But overall album depth.
I was gonna say overall,
you know, the whole "Can't Stop Me Now," you know, that moment.
Danger. What's up, Danger?
Yeah, you know, like come on, bro.
You're right. It's a little better soundtrack.
That definitely stood out for me a little bit more. But at the same time, again, we're judging it to the first one, which was, to me, and people will be upset with me on this one. I consider Into the Spider-Verse my favorite Spider-Man movie, followed by Spider-Man 2, then followed by this, and then I would say, for me, in my mind, that's when I get into No Way Home. I think No Way Home is special, but I didn't find it as structurally complex and writing style as in-depth as what this movie was. I think it was cool, but I think that at the end of the day too, No Way Home was just 100% nostalgia. You know, I loved it because I saw Toby and because I saw Andrew Garfield on it.
Nobody talks about this part of No Way Home. The reason why No Way Home is so great is because it's when Tom Holland basically officially becomes Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, he finally lost his uncle. He finally had his canon event.
Yep. He was never Spider-Man throughout all those other movies.
Yeah.
That was the movie he became Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And also, that is the movie that like Andrew Garfield got his redemption.
Yep.
Like, and that is like the reinsurgence of like everyone's love for Tobey Maguire. You know what I'm saying?
That to me was still rehashing though the same kinds of things that we had in every other Spider-Man arc or story. For me, it was still like, it was good, but it wasn't as complex as a story to me. So I still consider it awesome, but it's a close third place for me. I consider it close third across the armadillo. The armadillo. But Spot's actually, I had never heard of the Spot. And I've got to say, Spot is a better villain than Guardians of the Galaxy 3. 100%. I think he's better. I think he's a very much better villain. I think this is better than Guardians of the Galaxy 3 by a long shot.
100.
I've already forgotten about that movie. I've already forgotten.
I liked Guardians. I thought in that movie, I liked seeing Rocket's origin. I did like that.
Yeah.
And I thought that really helped with that show. And I honestly thought it helped that show close. You know what I mean? It closed off that team better.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't have that, I don't think we would have, that last cameo scene at the end or the extra scene they had for the new Guardians doesn't work.
Yeah.
One question for the panel and the chat. What do you guys think makes more money in the long term this year? Super Mario or Spider-Verse?
Ooh.
You know my answer.
I think Spider-Verse. Even though I haven't seen it yet, I know it's good because my daughter already watched it with her boyfriend, and she loved the movie. And she's always been very critical of my Marvel movies. So I think it will be across the Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Ian and Phil will go last. What about you, Tech?
I'm going to say Super Mario, and I'll say that because it's not just distributed here. It's distributed all over the world. And I think Super Mario or Mario Brothers in general, everybody knows Mario Brothers. People who don't even like Spider-Man or whatever love Mario, love those video games, grew up with those video games. So
yeah, I think it's going to be Mario. What about you, Phil?
I think it's going to be Spider-Verse domestically, Mario internationally. I think Nintendo's worldwide saturation rate is unstoppable to Marvel Spider-Man, but I do think Miles has a higher appeal to kids and youth and whole families than Peter Parker Spider-Man. And I say that because he is somebody that this generation's growing up with for Spider-Man. This is, I will say it, I think Miles Morales is this generation's coming Spider-Man, right? This is the one that they're growing up with, going through the growing pains with their parents at the same time, right? So when they think about it, sure, it may not be their parents' Spider-Man, but it's a journey that they went on with their parents too. So in 20, 30 years, when they're adults, they're going to be looking to say like, oh, I'm going to go show my dad, I'm going to go show my kid this Miles Morales movie, but I'm going to invite my parents too, because this was something that we all shared in that kind of a concept. I think that in the long run, Miles will become the new Spider-Man for this generation 100%. But I think domestically it will win here in the United States. I do think that, but
So
internationally
Spider-Man is
it'll be
being
short.
shown internationally, or it is?
It's just not as big internationally. Not as many people care about Spider-Man as much as they do Mario internationally. I mean, it's a totally different thing, dude. You're talking about video game culture and Nintendo.
I still think Mario is going to take the cake, but playing devil's advocate here, and you know this, we talked about this. Spider-Man, as of last year, officially became the most recognizable face of all time.
But this isn't his fucking movie. This is Miles Morales, dude.
But there are enough of him in this movie. That's the point.
Yeah, I just still having a face doesn't. I don't think that matters for crap. I really don't, dude. It's still Nintendo versus Marvel. Totally different things. Totally different things. To me, in my mind, it's Nintendo world. It's Nintendo's game to lose.
Yeah,
I don't think it can happen.
Because Mario has been out for much longer. Sorry.
No, you go ahead, man. Go ahead. What you were gonna say?
It's because, Mario's been out longer. So, and they continuously put out stuff every single year, every single other year. So everyone that gets exposed to it. So that's pretty much. Even my wife loved that movie. She was reacting to every single character that comes out. When she's like, oh my god, this character, whatever, and the whole Miles thing. I think it's good that they waited this long to come out with a Miles movie. So it's good. It's a good amount of time for. It's been what? How long has it been out now? 15 years.
Miles?
Yeah, Miles.
He came out in what, 2006 or 2008? I can't remember.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
So,
I think it's like that. So yeah,
but Spider-Man's been around way longer than Mario's been around.
Yeah, but I mean Miles in general.
Still not Spider-Man's movie, bro.
No, it's Miles. It's Miles' movie.
He's a side character.
He's been out for more than 10 years, so we like it. And there's new stuff coming out for little kids to like it too. I mean, so they drag their parents to it.
I mean, you didn't go see it for the Peter B. Parker Miles.
No, it's not for Miles.
You went to go see it because of Miles. People are mad that Gwen had as much screen time as they had because they wanted more Miles. They weren't looking for anybody other than Miles. So people recognize that when they look at this movie, they don't see the traditional Spider-Man that everybody's got the facial recognition with. They see this face, right? They don't see this face. This is there's still two different faces when they put that mask on. So in my mind, when you're talking about that facial recognition, everybody's going to see this and be like, "That's Spider-Man." Some people will see this still and they'll be like, "Who the fuck's that?" I mean, this could be a Beetleborg in Japan.
We'll be like, is that anime. Guys?
This could be, it could be, dude. I'm tired. I'm not kidding. You don't know what this is going to be in all the other different shows that they have across the world. So in my mind, I think Mario is going to definitely kill it internationally. Domestically, Miles has the best chance just because he means so much more to this generation's.
One last question, and then let's cut it. Chat 2 and the panel. What do you guys think was a better movie, Mario or Spider-Verse?
I have no opinion.
Guests go first.
I haven't seen Spider-Man yet.
That's not fair for Ruben. Ruben's got to be like, well, duh, Mario.
Zach?
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse? Phil?
Yeah. I mean,
same.
I liked Mario a lot. I did. In fact, I'm really looking forward to seeing that, like, if it comes on one of the streaming services, or maybe I can
It's
get the
digital
Blu-ray
right
or-
now. I bought a
Rick
copy
Phil
of
was
it
just
last
saying
week.
it is available, right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to give Theo my access to my Apple ID so he could watch it with the kids.
Nice. Nice.
second.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. Spider-Verse for me.
Yeah.
I love Mario. I love the Mario movie, but
Yes. I thought it was awesome. I really did. I liked it a
hasn't
lot. They did a
resonated
really
with
good job.
me as deeply as Spider-Verse has. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was for different reasons. I liked it. Totally different reasons, right? It's a great movie it was just a great comedy. There wasn't any kind of like origin to me.
Yeah, and then the other thing I was going to say, I think they definitely should have fleshed out Spider-Punk a bit more too. I would have liked to have seen a little more backstory on Spider-Punk.
I feel like we're going to in the future now. I think
That'll
he's definitely a fan favorite. I think him and Spider-Bite are becoming fan favorites with a lot of people. Spider-Gwen's always been high up there.
They brought back Noir.
Oh, that was great.
That's awesome.
You know,
I
the
love
OG
that.
team. I'm like, where the fuck were they the whole time?
Yeah.
Right? But they weren't even in that whole universe thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't there.
Well,
and think about it if they had been. Think if
what's her
they had
name
been.
was the tech, the girl with the robot. What's her name?
Oh yeah,
Penny Parker.
Yeah,
she was a part of that.
Yeah. Penny was there, but yeah,
no
I don't know.
Parker though, and no Spider Noir. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Spider Hammond was not in it.
He was at the end. He was.
You have to see it. You have to see it. We can't keep spoiling it for that man. He needs to see it.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it, Ruben. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
In all
that banner
honesty,
at the bottom says.
in all
That
honesty,
banner at the bottom says.
That's fine.
I think it's conversations like this that, for me, similar to Theo, like I can be okay with watching like spoiler purposeful shows after the movies come out. To me, what I hate is the overanalyzation of the promos and everybody's just leaking stuff, right? I don't like the leaks. I don't mind spoilers when I'm like going to see the movie and having those conversations, because I'll even tune into them because I want to know, because then I can pay attention to the details, because I know when like Theo's saying, when important stuff's coming up. I just hated, like with the No Way Home, look at the shadow down there. It is obvious that there is X, Y, and Z. And look at this leaked photo from the set. Like all of a sudden, like, can we at least get to the movie coming out and then talk about it? Not necessarily like, do we have to kill it before the movie's actually even been released? That's the kind of stuff I don't like. That's the kind of stuff I'm not into.
Yeah, when
Ben
you
Riley
hear someone,
cool.
See, when you hear someone like having conversation about the movie, spoilers and stuff, it doesn't matter, because what they see sometimes is not what you end up taking from the movie.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen to me so many times from my friends. I'm like, dude, what movie were you watching?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, my daughter actually. So my daughter went with me tonight. My daughter is 23, by the way. She saw it already. So this was her second time in like the last 2 days. That's how much she enjoyed it.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm ready to go see it again too, because there's stuff I've missed. I'm sure.
I'm planning on seeing it this next weekend already. I know for sure. I know I'm probably gonna go see it with a couple people. I might even be dragging Nate to go see it too. So yeah, I know I'll see it a couple of times.
Go see it.
Oh, I know. I'm sure Nate's seen it, but we usually go see these movies as well. So that's kind of just a thing we have here locally.
Ellie.
Yeah. You know, if we're going to see something multiple times rather than going by ourselves, we're like, okay, we'll tandem up. It works. Oh man. So
any last minute thoughts?
Not for me.
Hey, I was gonna say this. There was a trailer for Gran Turismo. Did you guys see that yet?
Gave me goosebumps, dude.
No. I know. That looks so good.
Yes.
I love
goosebumps.
Gran Turismo.
I
loved that game,
dude.
I used to play that so much on PlayStation.
Yeah. No, I love the behind the scenes that they did on that entire thing. And I literally got goosebumps seeing it. It looked cool. It looked cool. Yeah. 100%. I'm there for that one. Oh man. So where are you guys going to be doing this week? Ruben, anything big happening?
I'm sorry. What happened?
Did you guys hear about that?
What?
Which one?
John Wick 5.
What?
Oh, what?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
When
Yeah,
is
I
that
thought they-
starting?
I thought they announced that though. Like, I thought they greenlit that though
No,
even
no. So
before 4.
they recently like confirmed
Ah.
they're writing the script.
Damn.
Okay.
No, they're going to develop the script once the writer strike's
Okay, well
over.
they're working on it.
they're
I'm telling you,
nobody's
their exact
writing
words
anything
were-
right now.
Their exact words were, if this next movie, number 4, is well perceived,
Yeah.
which it was,
Yep.
and it shattered every record that they've had thus far,
Yep.
we will keep it going. And it is going to keep going.
Yep. True to form.
Man, but him falling down all those stairs, that was beyond brutal.
Well, you know, there's actually a film theory. Shout out to Film Theory. If he ever watches our videos, yo, man, I'm a fan. But there's a film theory that he is actually like immortal. They do it. They do a dissect.
Oh, I saw that.
They do a
Yeah.
dissect of this guy's wounds and everything that happens, and the amount of time that it takes him to heal and like recover from things. Any one of us, if that happened to, we'd basically be dead.
Yeah,
He is Baba
you
Yaga.
fell down one of
Baba
flight of those
Yaga.
stairs and not getting up.
Like he doesn't have a healing factor like Wolverine or Deadpool, but he does have like an increased healing factor. He almost broke it down to the point that Donnie Yen was like also like a metahuman, and maybe like all these assassins that are in there are like kind of super soldier-ish type people. It was a good film theory. If you guys haven't checked it out, you should check it out.
I'll check it out after I watch it.
You should.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, dude. Send it to me.
It's a
Yeah, I
good-
haven't seen it yet either, so I need to do that.
Oh, you guys haven't watched it? It's a great movie.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's
Things to
plenty
do.
of movies I didn't see when they came out, so
Yeah, I'm the same way. If it's not a comic book movie, it usually waits for me. I
yeah.
usually wait for digital. If it's not a comic book movie that I have to talk about on this show, it'll wait. That's usually my thing. Is like, well, as soon as it's out on digital, I'll get a copy. But that's usually my thing. That's my thing.
I did see Mario when it came out though, so I did do that.
Worth it.
Touche. I'll take that. That was that is 100% as well. But that was also because my entire family was just like, we're gonna go see the Mario movie. Oh, okay. We're gonna go see it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Beats the heck out of when I try and do it. Like, does anybody want to go see this movie with me? And usually people are just like, call Nate. That's usually the thing. Like, don't you have your friend Nate you can call? Like, yeah, I'll call Nate.
I
So
want to
and
see the Flash movie too. I'm sorry, I do want.
that's
to
gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
That's gonna happen. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
And that's
I
one
hear
that
it's
I'm
really
not
good.
gonna wait. Okay, that one I'm gonna need to go see it first without the kids, just to make sure. Okay, it's kid friendly.
Right.
And then we'll take the kids. Okay. Spider-Verse, it's like, okay, we're gonna wait till $5 Tuesday, and then we're gonna.
Right.
That's what
There
we
you
did
go.
today. You know.
There you go.
But Flash, I am gonna see that.
So
Yeah.
where do you guys think in the overall money making between, but let's go with Sony versus Disney versus Warner Discovery, with the 3 movies they've got coming out all within a month of each other, with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Across the Spider-Verse, and Flashpoint. What do you think will be the box office money take? Like, what will be first, second, and third in your mind? Give me your 1, 2, 3.
Sony,
I'll go last.
Marvel.
Sony, Disney, and then
No,
DC. Is that what you
Sony,
said?
DC, Marvel.
You think Flashpoint will make more money than Guardians?
100%.
Okay.
Not even.
I go with Theo with Rage. It will be Sony, Marvel, and then Sony, DC, and Marvel.
Yep.
Because it's I loved Guardians Galaxy, but I was crying throughout the whole movie. So, but
What do you think, Tech?
everyone's saying Flash.
Those are the 3.
I'm going to say Sony, Marvel, and DC, because DC is having the worst pre-sale numbers of any DC movie since Shazam 2 for Flash. No matter what they're doing, people aren't buying that movie because of Ezra Miller outside of the comic book community. People aren't into it. despite Michael Keaton coming back, if you look at the numbers, they're just above Shazam 2.
Wow.
So I'm predicting Flash
Damn.
is going to
Be third.
be a distant third to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'm
Damn.
predicting a distant third to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'll go on record with that right now. That's my bold prediction, is between the three coming within a month of each other. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will be the second place runner up to Miles, and that's hard. It's going to be a big difference between first and second to me. But Flash pre-sales are low, y'all. They are low.
You know, I'm going to throw a curveball in there. You know what I think might actually end up being second, maybe third on that list?
What's that? In this month, in that 30-day range?
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible is not coming out in this 30-day range.
I thought it is.
It's not coming out like to another month from now. I thought like next month.
Oh, is it next month?
I think it's like a July, like a late. I think it's gonna be like more of like an SDCC kind of movie.
Okay. Because I think that's gonna kill it.
That's a Universal movie though too. I mean, I guess I was just looking for the three movies between like the comic book people. I mean, technically Mario's gonna smoke all of them. I mean, you know, it's just I was just looking for like between these three comic book entities. Yeah, I was just looking between these three comic book entities. Like,
oh, bro, you didn't even mention The Little Mermaid. Like, come on.
It's not in there, dude. It's not a comic book entity. Dude, I picked the three. I'm not asking about anything else.
It is.
This is my question,
technically
not yours.
Is a comic book movie.
It's my question, not yours. My question.
It's not a comic book.
Well,
movie.
and technically, I said it's Disney. Movie. Technically, it's Disney, so that just counts to more money towards Disney definitely coming in second, because I said Disney versus Warner Brothers versus Sony. Technically, we would go that route. Then Little Mermaid money counts to Guardians money.
It's gave him a bonus. It's still not going to do better than Spider-Verse too.
No, but I don't think anybody's. I think that's. I think animated movies are going to dominate this year. I think it's going to still be kind of like what Jeff told us. I think Mario is going to be the #1 movie, like in the most money made this year overall because of the world, but domestically, Spider-Verse is going to give it a run for its money.
Right.
At least I hope so. It's got the most legs. I hope so, because it was a really great. It was a better movie than Super Mario. Super Mario was just fun popcorn movie, nostalgia bait, you know. But Across the Spider-Verse was just a well-written.
Well, I mean, Mario is so special because it's like, honestly, that's the first time those characters have had any justice on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about John Leguizamo as Luigi.
You see what I'm saying? Like, honestly, that's probably that's the only time they've gotten any justice on a TV screen.
In the Saturday morning rap version, you'll be hooked on the brothers. Ooh. I was just
my son used to love that show.
Oh my god.
He loves to watch that show.
Yeah.
He actually got mad when Netflix took it off. He was super mad.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I never knew they had it.
It was a good show in the day. It was a good show.
Yeah, I watched watching it.
Captain Lou Albano.
I only watched like one episode and I quit. I couldn't. It was I cringed every time I heard the opening rap. I was just like, I can't do this. I dipped. I won't lie. I grew up I grew up a little bit more urban on that side of town and was just like, that's not it. I gotta walk away. This is some Vanilla Ice terrible TV shit. But we are at almost 90 minutes, guys. So I think we're gonna have to wrap it up for the night. Yeah, I think it has the most legs. I work on the puns. Ruben, anything special going on for you this week that people should know about? Where can they find you on social media?
Social media, I'm just regular person. Instagram.
What's your Instagram handle?
It is. Wolf Valley. There you go. 85.
There we go. Wolf Valley 85. So anybody looking to find Ruben Wolf Valley 85 on Instagram. Tech, what do you got going on, brother? Anything you want to talk about real quick before we go, or what's I mean, like, what do you have going on this week, and where people can find you?
Well, I'm always on Instagram. I'm always posting. I just got to meet Jim Lee on Saturday. So I have 3 books coming back from CGC at some point.
Nice.
6 to 8 weeks. And then I do have some books coming from the Fantastic collection.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
I think they shipped out yesterday.
So
I think you'll be getting them tomorrow. I think you'll be getting them tomorrow. Let us know for your unboxing. We'd love to see that.
Absolute. I will definitely tag both of you, or all 3 of you.
Brother Theo, what do you got going on this week, homie?
Well, tomorrow's Wednesday, so not Wednesday. Friday, I'm having an IG live sale on my account, Rage Theo, and yeah, shout out to Elite Comics 11. I'll be co-hosting with them on Thursday.
They've got some pretty big sales coming up this week too, man. There's gonna be some big books moving with Elite, so hope you guys have your alerts set if you're looking for anything. I'll tell you that.
Oh, actually, another thing too, I have a CGC submission coming in, I think Thursday. So
big box unboxing on
Thursday
the Rage Theo
Friday
channel.
morning, we'll be slicing some shit up. Yep.
Sweet.
Ooh.
I'm looking forward to that. All right, set your alerts for Rage Theo, everybody. I'll be Instagramming it up, and I'm going to try and drop some indie content. I had a great interview with some of the guys from Night of the Chihuahuas. So I'll try and drop some information and some video on that. And I think I'm going to do a giveaway this week. So my account's had some good growth lately, and I think I'm going to give away some Legos and some comics. So get some Thanos glove out there. There'll be some Marvel, some Star Wars, some DC, because I'm getting a lot of all kinds of fandoms right now. Maybe a little cosplay set. So that being the case, stay tuned. There'll be a giveaway on my channel on Instagram this week, and hopefully some dual action for the people that subscribe on YouTube. So, food for thought.
I like it.
But that said, guys,
Very
thank
cool.
you so much for making it out tonight.
Yep.
Thank you for
Always a
having
pleasure,
me.
Vince.
I appreciate you guys joining us this evening. Theo, I think that being said, brother, you know how to sign everybody off. What are they supposed to do?
Last minute thoughts, guys. We're at 983, so we've definitely gained a few this session. If you're not subbed up to Comics and Chaos, click that sub, like this video, comment on it if you feel generous, and until the next time.
Until next time, everybody. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.